All right, guys. Welcome back to another LDR to Forever live series, live interview, guys, where we highlight powerful long distance love stories from around the world. This morning, we are joined with the Millers on inspiring couples whose love journey began in Cape Town, South Africa, just before the world shut down in 2020. What started as a chance meeting during vacation blossomed into a love story that withstood 2 years of separation, virtual connection, and global uncertainty. From emotional FaceTimes to magical reunions in Zanzibar, a proposal in 2020, and eloping in Jamaica this February, they've shown what true patience and commitment can build. Now living together and planning a big wedding for January 2026, they are truly a testimony that LDRs can lead to forever. Grab your drink of choice and help me welcome the Millers. Hey guys, good morning so much. Thank you so much for the taps, guys. Keep tapping. Good morning, good morning.
John.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys doing today?
Hi, we're good. How is everybody?
We're good.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Oh, we are so excited to be
I'm
here.
excited. I'm excited as well. I'm so excited that you replied back. And then when I seen the newsletter, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be good.
Right, right. And
Yes,
it just happened like the timing was so perfect because it happened just like this week while we had this scheduled as well. So it was really
yes,
like good timing, hey?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, hi, Bruno. Hi.
Yes, everybody, please, as you come in, tap the screen, guys, and share it to about 2 to 3 people.
Really appreciate that. Would really appreciate
Yes.
that.
So we're going to start the interview. Okay, we're going to get into it. Um, I, I I introduced you guys, and you guys traveled. You were places. Okay, South Africa, Zanzibar, and even Jamaica. That's really good. So please just give me a short introduction of both of you guys, and then we'll get into it.
Okay. That was actually a very good introduction that you did for us there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So my name is Tandega. I
Mhm.
am from South Africa and I am a traveler with my husband.
Mhm.
Rick from
Yes.
England, UK.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, and we both love travel.
Mhm.
So majority of our time we spend traveling, I'd say. We spend traveling, and that has been something that has really connected us as a couple. And it was our shared interest when we first met in Cape Town in
Mhm.
2020. And yeah, we've been together. We met in 2020, and we've been together now for officially 3 years, 3 full years
Yes.
officially. Yeah.
So when we met in Cape Town,
Mhm.
I had a few drinks because normally I wouldn't approach such beautiful women. I don't have the confidence, but I'd had a few. And she walked down the stairs. She was coming back from the bathroom, and she had this most amazing smile. And I
Oh.
stopped her, and we started chatting. And after the initial, "You've got a beautiful smile," you kind of, what do I talk about next? And the thing we
Mhm.
talked about was travel because I
Okay.
started traveling by myself after I'd come out of a divorce and travel in different countries and different experiences was what I wanted to do
Mhm.
and to sort of broaden my mind. And as I was talking to Tandega, that was a key goal of hers. And that's kind of what kept the conversation
Mhm.
going on that initial meeting.
Yeah, yeah, they actually had to kick us out, like literally kick us out because we met at this restaurant and we just could not stop speaking. Like, the connection was, we had a really good connection from the first time we met, and we
Mhm.
spoke until they closed and they had to kick us out. And yeah, that was like the start of how all this started.
Okay, so you guys met Cape Town, right? Cape
Yes.
Town. What restaurant were you at? Do you guys remember?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yes,
yes,
we
yeah.
go there every time we're in Cape Town.
Okay.
It's called Cafe Caprice.
Okay.
Camps Bay.
Yeah, it's in Camps Bay. It's by the beachfront. It's like a beautiful strip of restaurants and bars that are there. So yeah, we met in Cafe Caprice in Camps Bay.
Cafe Caprice.
Yeah,
Okay. And
it's
this was what year?
2020 January, the 25th of January 2020.
So I think
Okay.
the important thing was we met just as the world was starting to hear about COVID, and I remember being in Cape Town, and I think there were cases in China, and a few come to Italy, and you just think, oh, it's something of nothing, it'll blow over. You just never thought the world was going to stop, you know.
Yeah.
And so literally when we left, I thought, you know, there was a connection and I wanted to keep it going, and that maybe in a few months we will re-meet. But obviously because of COVID, it wasn't going to be like that. But it was strange times, because the pandemic was just new to everyone, and you just thought, oh, it won't affect me, and then all of a sudden you're not allowed to go out your house. It was crazy.
It was really crazy. Everything was shut down. So, when you guys met, prior to meeting, what was that day initially like? You just were like, I'm just going to the cafe, I'm just enjoying life. Is Give me how it was for you and you as
You want to go
well.
first, and then I'll
I'll
answer.
go first because it's so funny because we were just speaking about this yesterday. Remember that on that day we woke up like it's just any other day. So I was staying in Joburg. Joburg is like the big city in South Africa. So I was staying there, and then I had gone to Cape Town for my friend's birthday. So it was my friend's birthday celebration. Actually, the day we met is actually her birthday. So
Oh,
yeah, so it was my
yeah.
first time in Cape Town. It was our first time in Cape Town. We were so excited. So we woke up that day. We woke up very early. We did like sightseeing in Cape Town. Then we went back. We got ready for dinner. We went to have dinner. And then so we did like Table Mountain. So the most like the landmark, or like the thing to that is a must see in Cape Town is like Table Mountain. So we did Table Mountain, and then we did a hop on and hop off bus. And then we just, it was a girls' trip. So we had so much fun. And then later on, we went back to our hotel. We got ready, looked cute, and then went to have dinner. And then after dinner, we're just walking around the strip because, like I mentioned, the place where we met is by the strip. And we're just walking around there, and then we saw Cafe Caprice. It was the only place that wasn't like too full, because other places they were so packed because it was January and it was still like kind of like a festive season. So it was packed, but then Cafe Caprice is the only place that actually had like tables and openings. So we went to Cafe Caprice, which I was not that much excited about because I was not drinking at the time, but my friends were. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go for the music and just like see how the vibe is. And yeah, and then we sat like there's an outside sitting. So we sat by the outside area. And in this area, there was a table, there was like a the couch VIP area, I'd say, that was like just opposite us. And I think that's where that's where you guys were sitting.
We were sitting right on the back wall, actually.
Oh
I
yeah,
was stood
yeah.
at the bar when
When I
I saw
came,
you.
yes.
Yeah.
So there was just like an area that was there. I think one of my friends probably started speaking to someone there. That's why I kind of remember that area. And then I got up and then I went to the toilets. And then when I was coming out, there's like this, you go down the stairs, you pass the bar and then to our table. So as I was coming out the toilet, about to go down the stairs, he was at the end of the stairs, like by the bar area. And then that's when he saw me and he just like, he froze. He froze when he saw me and he just looked at me. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what do I say? Like, why is this guy looking at me? And then he said, you got a beautiful smile. And yeah, that's how the conversation started.
So for me,
Yes.
I was travelling around South Africa with a group of friends I'd met on a previous trek, and Cape Town was the last point of our journey. We'd been a few other places, and in 2019, I'd finalised my divorce after 23 years, 3 children, and I'd moved house, and I was by myself, and I wanted to travel. So it was very much a trip of rediscovery, because I
Okay.
kind of lost myself in the marriage. I've always been a social person. I'm a Leo. I like to have a few drinks and a laugh and a joke. And a lot of that got discarded because my ex-wife wasn't like that. I kind of just wanted to rediscover myself. So in Cape Town, it was a night of sort of drinking with friends, and I just felt so happy that I was back to the person that I was always meant to be, and hence I was comfortable. And so they had a few drinks, stop in Tandega, and chancing my luck. So that's kind of the background to where I came from. And it was, even before I met Tandega, it was an amazing night. People were so friendly, and we had such a good time there. It was brilliant.
But the highlight was meeting you, right?
Well, I suppose so.
So
Go on then.
so a trip for rediscovery and a day out with the girls on your friend's birthday, and you guys happen to meet. And the smile is beautiful. You guys look amazing together, by the way. Um,
Thank you so much.
so you guys are talking. You guys are at Cafe Caprice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure it's getting to the point where you guys were saying like you didn't know how the world was going to be, how things are. So how did you guys keep into connection?
Okay, so after that night, so what happened is our friends, they ended up leaving us because they wanted to leave, but we're so into the conversation that they actually left us. My friends, obviously, we made sure, I'm safe, location, everything.
Yes.
And then they left us. And when this place kicked us out, the restaurant was closing, we made plans that we were going to meet the following day for breakfast, because I was actually leaving the following day. So I was leaving Cape Town the following day, going back to Joburg. So we made plans that we're gonna meet for breakfast early, because my flight was 11 a.m. So we're gonna meet like as early as we can. And then obviously I went back to my hotel. He went back to where he was staying as well. And then in the morning, we did meet for breakfast. So we met for breakfast in the morning. We just spoke, which for me I felt like was very important, because like as a girl, I was thinking, I mean, it's nice and everything, but he's been drinking. So like you don't really, you can't really be sure of everything while somebody is drinking.
Yes.
So for us to meet,
You didn't realise I was this charming, sober, as well as drunk. You thought, he's just, when he's sober, he's going to be so boring. That's what you're saying.
That is actually what I thought. I thought it must be, maybe he's very boring when he's sober. So it would be so much fun for us to meet in the morning when he's sober, which we did, and the energy, the chemistry, it was still there. And then we spoke, I think we spoke about Thailand. Was it Thailand? So we spoke we spoke about possibly meeting in June, and traveling to Thailand together. So, and then after that, fine, I went home, and then COVID started. So then we couldn't meet. But the whole plan that we had the following day after we met was that we were going to meet again in June to go to Thailand together.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about travel. I always said, I remember that night. I don't remember as much as you, but I said, Venice. I'm gonna take you to Venice. You've got to go to Venice. Well, hopefully, you're going to fulfil that promise this year. Providing we get the right visa. But travel was what really connected us. Tandega, I don't really want to speak for her, but she says to me, from when she was young, she always had a worldview in her mind where she wanted to see things. And similarly, I used to watch all these travel programs growing up and later on in life. and people would fly out to China. You know, not as an Englishman, people go to Spain and Portugal, but to go to these out of the way places. And I got it to thinking, I'm sick of watching people go there and experience their experience. I want to have this experience myself, even if it's a bad experience. I want the experience.
Sure.
And that kind of connected us. And the thing was, after Tandega flew, I had a few more days in Cape Town, but we started chatting on WhatsApp straight away, and the conversation, you know, thanks to modern technology of chatting on WhatsApp and then FaceTime calls, you know, I felt like we was building something, you know, and it took a few steps.
Okay, I'm going to stop you because I want to know, okay, you guys were talking, you guys moved from, what platform did you start on? Just WhatsApp straight?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
straight. Yeah. So we started on WhatsApp.
You were leaving the next day, and you said you had a couple more days in South Africa.
I had a couple more days in Cape Town before I flew home to the UK. I remember we was changing in Paris. It wasn't a direct flight, and we had about 3 hours in Paris. And when I got to Paris, Tandega had sent me 2 or 3 messages, and I picked them up. And you know, it's kind of exciting, and I don't know if I'm honest. There's an age difference between us. There's lots of differences, and she's the most beautiful person I'd ever spoke to. You know, to have her interested in me, I was kind of, is this for real, or do you know what I mean?
So both of you were thinking the same thing.
We were. Hey,
both of you were thinking the same thing. You know, she was thinking, okay, is it the drinks or is it really me? You thinking, is it me or a coincidence that I happen to be at the same place? Yeah. So did you guys communicate this to each other?
Initially, no. Hey, initially we did not. I think it's only now that we have actually spoken about it. Like, what was going through your mind when we met?
Yeah, you kept messaging me. I love you. I want to come to Thailand. What are you doing tomorrow? You know. But
no, he's a joker. He's a very big joker. I think that's also another thing. Travel and just his sense of humor. He's so funny. But no, we actually didn't. I think only now that we like in, you know, a relationship properly, we spoke about those things and just like reflect on the day. Like, what did you do that day? You know, did you think, you know, and we sometimes speak like, if anybody told us that day when we woke up, that's actually you're about to meet your husband or your wife tonight, we definitely wouldn't have believed them because it was just, it was just not something that we were looking for. Well, I wasn't looking.
I was just, like I said, rediscovering myself.
Right.
I think as well is in those early days, when you're in a long distance relationship and you FaceTime, you're face calling and you're on video and you see what Tandega's doing in a country 4,000 miles away, it kind of it's a bit exciting, you know. I know it's different from years ago, and everyone's FaceTiming and you're all over the world. But when you're involved in a sort of personal relationship, the fact you're video calling with someone that means something to you, you know, and their culture is completely different, and you know, I'm explaining things that I'm doing, you know, like I remember. So in January, it's winter here. And I remember showing her, I said, oh, my car's frozen, the windscreen. And she's sending pictures. I've never seen that before. So I was sending pictures.
It was something new, right?
Something new,
Definitely something new.
And that kind of is exciting, I think.
Yeah. And, you know, I think so I think for us, so when we moved to WhatsApp, before we could even like speak about the whole romantic relationship thing, we kept in touch so much. I don't remember a day where it went by and we didn't like video call or speak. You know, even if sometimes it was like a short video call, just, you know, good morning, how's your day going? What do you have planned for the day and stuff like that. So we really kept in touch from the time we met. From the time we met, we
Right.
just like started speaking and we'd speak every day about anything and everything. And this was even before we thought, COVID was going to happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we did speak about our plans for Thailand.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then it just COVID happened, and then that was disappointing. But you know what? It's so funny because now we thank COVID because we feel like the 2 years of just speaking, like getting to know each other
Mhm.
was such a good foundation for like where we are now.
Mhm.
Because the 2 years we're just speaking, there was no pressure or kind of like things that were distracting us.
Mhm.
There was no big expectations. We're just getting to know each other and also not knowing where the world was going.
Right. So it was a lot going on.
It
You
was
guys
a
were
lot
thinking of
going on.
you guys were thinking a lot.
I
Um.
I think it was for me, and I think
Uh-huh.
for Tane, at the time. So we, because of COVID restrictions,
Mhm.
we couldn't meet. We tried, we and had flights cancelled because I couldn't fly to South Africa or
Mhm.
anywhere. It got to the point where we had something booked to meet up in a neutral venue, and then
Mhm.
we had to change it to Zanzibar when we re-met. And
Okay.
after many a cancelled trip or a couple of cancelled trips, it got to the point where I thought, if for me personally, if we don't meet this time, I
Mhm.
don't know if I can wait much longer, because it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
You
Ooh,
know,
okay, wait. You take it. You. Let's. We gotta take it bit by bit, step by step. I'm
Yeah,
still stuck
yeah.
at Paris. You on your way back, and you got two messages. I
yeah,
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
I
yeah. So,
wanted to
I'm sorry.
ask a question because you mentioned being age gap. That was the thing. Do you guys mention what? Are you guys okay to mention the age, or
Yeah,
can
yeah,
you
sure.
mention the gap?
No, so it's a very good question. So,
Yes.
one of the questions I really remember when I came home, and a beautiful younger woman, or, naturally, you have doubts, and,
Mm-hmm.
talk to close friends, I guess they had doubts. And I remember probably a week or so after I got back, I said to Tanega, is
Mm-hmm.
the age difference? Because, I didn't lie about my age. Tanega obviously didn't lie about her age. I said,
Right.
is that an issue for you?
Mm-hmm.
She said, no, it's quite normal in her culture that the man's quite a bit older. And then
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly for me, she
Mm-hmm.
turned around to me and said, is the race thing an issue for her? And
Right.
I was a bit surprised, because I just see people really.
Well, that's
And
good. Mm-hmm.
I said, absolutely not. But obviously, South Africa still has that apartheid background, and
Mm-hmm.
there's still issues. So I didn't at the time, I didn't realize it all, but now it all makes kind of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know, or you want your viewers to know, that the age difference between us.
Oh,
Um,
yes, I'm asking, please.
so it's a milestone year for both of us. So Tanega is 30 in November.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 weeks' time, I'm 60. So there's
Mm-hmm.
actually a 30-year age gap between us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've done
Okay.
quite well.
I mean, you guys are. I mean, as I'm looking at you guys from the time I came across your platform on TikTok, I was like, I want to talk to them. You know what I mean? It was beautiful. You mentioned her smile every time I look. I'm like, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Um, you
So
can't
it's
stop
like good
smiling.
bones.
Yes, yes. So
Yes.
you guys met, and I wanted to ask, and I'm happy that you guys are very open because I think when we talk about relationships, when we talk about especially long distance, there are a lot of different factors. And I think two factors, one being intercultural, right? Coming from two different places, and then also to that age gap. Um, Personally, with the platform, we believe that true love prevails, right? So it's up to you guys, it's up to what you guys are living out. But I want to ask you guys in regards to friends, right? Were they thinking? You don't have to go by name, right? But kind of what he was mentioning, people were saying to him like, hey, are you sure? You know what I
Well, do
mean?
you want me to
You
answer that
you
first?
go first
Yeah.
because
Yes,
you probably have a lot to say.
Yeah.
yes.
So Yes, friends, some of my family, they are very suspicious when they see someone younger, someone pretty, and if being honest, someone black from Africa, they have this stereotype, and they just see label, like a gold digger, and they don't want to look beyond that. That's I mean, some of my family judged Tandega without even speaking one word to her.
Yeah.
So you kind of learn a lot of stuff, and some friends are really happy for you. So before we re-met, I know I had one or two friends, warn me and be careful, and they were very, very suspicious. But the thing that stays with me is, this is a slight jump ahead, but when we did when we got married in Montego Bay and we read a little speech to each other, Tandega thanked me for following my heart.
Oh.
And that's really what I did. When I look back, it were when you've got people saying negative stuff, but then the conversation that I was having with Tande was so positive, and she was so optimistic and full of life, and happy, and I kind of managed to drown out that noise. But that was why it was so important that we did meet, because I wanted sort of physical evidence that this is genuine.
Sure. How was it for you?
Funny for me. One time he came back from a night out, and he had gone to a pub, or I think a club or bar, and he said to me, somebody just came up to him and said, "Don't send her any money. Don't send her any money."
An ex-neighbor.
Imagine somebody said to him, he must not send me any money, without even knowing me, knowing, how long we've been talking, knowing anything about us, but just by looking at my pictures, that my man, so exciting, he was very excited, and he shared the pictures, this is her, and the first thing they said was, just don't send any money. I thought, that is crazy. Oh my gosh, that is so crazy.
I think
it's an insult to both of us, because what we're basically saying is, I can only get Tandega for money, without money, and we're realistic, we're realistic, and that's what I really loved about Tandega, is that she wanted someone financially settled, and she's honest about that, and which is great. But there's more, without the connection, we wouldn't work.
It wouldn't be here.
Sure. Okay, 1 second. Good morning, guys. Please tap the screen. We have the Millers up here, guys. They are a couple from the UK, South Africa. They are now in the UK, and I want to hear what were friends saying to you. What were they saying?
For me. Oh, yes. So for me, right, it was very positive. Girls, it was very positive for me, because he was just, different from what I had, gone for before, and things were going very well. My friends could see me, I was happy. But now the interesting thing is, it was in my face, it was very positive and supportive, but then behind closed doors, I guess it was an issue for some friends, because the friend that I actually went with, the girl that it was her birthday, the girl that I went with for her birthday trip, she actually just ended up just being very weird, and she blocked me out of nowhere. She just she was just so strange, out of nowhere, when in my face she was very happy for me, but I think maybe she just didn't think it would last, because I remember the last conversation that we had, we're just catching up, which was I think about a year or two later. We're just catching up, and then she's asking me, how are things with Mick? I'm telling her, things are good, we're planning to see each other and stuff like that. And she was just shocked, from her reaction, I could tell she was shocked. And then she asked me, what did I use, for, oh, what did you use? You must tell me what you did. I'm no, things are just...
You used the smile.
Some people, they think the worst
They
Exactly,
honestly
exactly.
We
think
take the
you're
negative
right.
road before we take positive, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
Yeah. And
exactly.
do you know what? We're both not innocent. I'm sure in the past I might have said or done the same sort of thought. But as
Sure.
you grow older, I guess you learn. And this has been a
Yeah,
great learning
Mm-hmm.
experience for me.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, she blocked me. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't say anything to me, and I think about a week or two later, he told me that she texted him. She DM'd him on Facebook, just like starting small talk, and I'm just like, that is so weird.
And then she blocked me.
Yeah, yeah. After obviously
Yeah, because
he
he
told
not
me.
gonna bite.
Yeah, she blocked me, and then now she was DMing him. That was very strange. And then when he didn't reply, I guess then she blocked him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess for me that was like the only thing that in my face it was very positive and supportive.
Sure.
But then behind closed doors, it was I guess it wasn't really like genuine happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Okay.
think for me, the hardest thing is a couple of my children have not been supportive. And that's been an issue moving forward. But you know what? You've got one life and you owe it to yourself to, if you see happiness, to grab it. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I believe anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think
Mm-hmm.
that's just is for my side. It was just that one person, and then recently I lost a friend recently who said the whole wedding planning process is hurting her feelings, which was very weird for someone to say that I just asked to be like my bridesmaid. So I think it was also just like feelings that she was harboring, like hiding them initially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think love is beautiful.
yeah,
And I also think that in life, if you live a life that pleases other people, who are you living for? You know what I'm saying? That means you didn't get to explore, you didn't get to do what you felt within yourself. So I do think it's a beautiful thing. And I love that you mentioned that in your vows. And we're going to get there, but it's so much that it's going to take some time. It's a different, it's different. It's very different. So pairs connect in flight. You look up, you see 2, 3 messages. Um, okay, I see a comment says, yes, choose happiness. I want to go to South Africa so bad. True. You said that you messaged me. Okay. Okay, I'll get back to you, please. Okay. So what was next?
So it was when I eventually got back to England, I told
Hmm.
my brother what had happened. I remember driving. So I flew into London, where I live. It's a good 4.5 hours home. And I remember as I was driving, it was hands free as well. Just anyone who was safe. I remember telling my brother I'd met someone, and I don't know where it's going, but there's an age difference. I was quite upfront about the age difference. I'd rather just say it, and if people had an issue, they had an issue. And my brother was fine, to be honest. And I was kind of like, well, we'll see what happens. I was like erring on the side of caution. I was saying, oh well, I've met someone, but nothing might come of it. I don't know, but we got on really well, and see what happens. So I was kind of optimistic, but life, so. After I got divorced, I tried a bit of online dating, and it really didn't work for me much. And people, I found, you get like sort of conversations going for a few days, and you think, oh, this bit of a connection here, and then they just peter out, and so you kind of had your hopes raised that you might meet up, that this might be somebody, and it would all just sort of fall apart. So I think that grounded me to think, well, see what happens. But we certainly, the night we met was an amazing night because we just didn't stop talking. It really stayed with me a long time. And that was it. That's from my perspective. I don't know from yours. The first week after,
I think the first week after was just, I was happy that actually, even when he's sober, we actually did get along. Like, the
will you stop
connection.
saying when he's sober? You can't,
Well, she has to mention that. That was on her
That's
costume.
every sentence. When he's sober, he was drunk, so I had to see when he was sober.
Yeah.
This is tea, by the way. Special tea.
Okay.
So for me, it was just I was just open-minded, to getting to know him, and already like the messages, like the texting, we'd just like been updating each other. What are you doing? Where are you now? Are you home? He told me he was gonna drive for about 4 hours after the airport. For me, it was just a 45 minutes ride, and just updating each other. So I was just very open-minded as to like, okay, I want to see where this is going, what's gonna happen. And I was quite surprised when he told me that he already like told his brother, about us meeting. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is different and interesting. So we're gonna see where it goes.
I must tell you something, actually. I've just remembered. So I posted on my Facebook pictures of me in Tandega.
A week later?
Sorry?
A week later, you met?
So when we met, that is the picture that we took. You see that picture, this behind us?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I posted on Facebook.
He posted on the 20th
a few days
of February.
A few days after we met, that I'd just met my African queen with this picture. and somebody, a friend of mine, in his comments, so I live in a place called Sherburn in Elmet, and short version is Sherburn, and someone jokingly had put, the African queen has met the king of Sherburn. And that has kind of been a standard joke between us. Like, I'm humble. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm no king, but we kind of say that to us. I'll say, well, you've got to please the king of Sherburn. It's just become a standard joke right from the first week of our relationship.
And the African queen thing, he saved my number as my African queen from the night we met, and it's still my African queen even now.
Yeah. But I only saved it because you made me do.
It's sweet. That's sweet. So you guys are back home. You're back in your places, and texting, talking, calling. When is the next time you guys are planning to meet up again?
I was obviously I do work part-time, so you've got to think of my work holidays, and I said, well, let's meet up the summer of 2020. We'll go to Thailand because, as I said, I was on this journey of discovery. I wanted to travel, and Tandega, I think I'm right in saying you hadn't actually left South Africa at that point. And so she was obviously, this would be brilliant. But COVID came really effectively March 2020. The world was shut down. So plans were put on hold. I think the end of 2020, I had a flight booked to South Africa. There was like a window. It appeared that I could come out there, but then that was quickly shut. I think a new variant had come out of South Africa, and it was closed. So it was very, at the time, as I said, I know maybe slightly jumping, for me it was very frustrating, but ultimately we got the reward, but at the time,
yes.
it was very frustrating.
Yeah,
it was. Anything to add?
It was. No, I'm not going to add anything. Said that.
We have a comment from Amina. She says, period. I can feel the love between them with several hearts. I can
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
So met January 2020, March shut down.
Yeah.
You said you were planning for the summer of 2020 to meet, but you guys weren't able to.
Yeah.
And then you said you had a flight to South Africa end of 2020, but you weren't able to go. So when was the next meetup point?
So gradually in 2021 in England, they let you fly to certain places. So being a traveller, there was like a list of countries, and it was about 6, and one of them was Iceland. So I flew with a friend to Iceland for a few days, and video calling Tandega. But I think back end, so January 22, we had flights to meet in Mauritius,
Mm-hmm.
and then a new venue.
2022.
Yeah, it was 2 years. It's
Oh,
2 years of
Yeah.
online
you guys
relationship.
endured.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said it was at the point where I just thought this, I can't wait any longer because, while we were separated, I wasn't looking for anyone or seeing anyone. I was into Tandega. This is the bit where you said you feel the same.
Oh yeah, I was doing the same.
Good. I won't nip you. That's all right. And so we had this flight booked, and then Mauritius stopped people from South Africa flying out there. But luckily, because at the COVID time, you could rearrange everything. And the only country we could generally meet was Tanzania, and which obviously Zanzibar is part of. So we rebooked it all to Zanzibar, and we had flights booked for January 2022. And I must say, it's the most nervous I've ever been, I think, because when I set off, and it took me about 23 hours of flying, I had a change, and my flight arrived about half an hour before Tandega's, who was changing in, was it Nairobi?
Nairobi, yes.
Nairobi. And I suddenly thought, what if I fly for 23 hours and she doesn't turn up? It literally went through my mind as I pulled in, and I'm waiting. And obviously, when you're on the flight, there's no communications. And
right, that's true. True.
When I switched got my Wi-Fi, got the WhatsApp on, I got a message from Tandega. She'd landed in Nairobi, and she said she's there, she's ready for boarding. And I was like, I'm so relieved, because I thought, what if I end up having 2 weeks by myself here? And then obviously I wouldn't tell anyone. I'd just keep quiet. So I was so relieved to see that message. But then I was like, we're going to meet. And I suddenly became nervous for a different reason,
Right.
Oh my God. For me, actually, I was so surprised to hear, which is like quite recently, to hear that he thought I might not show up. He thought I might not show up. And for me, that never even crossed my mind. I think because for the past 2 years, we've been speaking every day,
Yeah.
and obviously like we arranged to meet, and we've tried meeting for like 2-3 times before, but we couldn't. So I was so excited to like be meeting with him. We'd planned to spend 2 weeks together in Zanzibar. And I was just so excited. I remember my flight was like 1 a.m. in the morning. But by 8 p.m. I was already at the airport with my bags. I was already there at the airport with my bags, and I was just so excited. The thought of him, standing me up and not coming just never crossed my mind. I think because he had been very intentional from the start. He had been very honest, about everything. And I felt like we had built, this trust, and I trusted him. And I was excited. And then when I was getting my bags, he texted me saying that he could see me. And then that's when I started getting nervous. Like, oh my gosh, we're actually meeting. Like, oh my gosh, we're actually meeting now.
Yes.
And it's going to be 2 weeks. And all these thoughts, come to my mind. Like, I just hope this 2 weeks is not going to be awkward. But we've been speaking, like that internal kind of like battle. Like, okay, we've been speaking, but then in person, I wonder how things are going to be. And let me just be calm. And yeah, so he had been waiting for me because he got there before. He waited for me. And when we met, when I saw him, like after when he got me from the airport, it just felt like we'd been together for so long. There was just like the nerves went away as soon as we hugged and stuff. The nerves went away, and I just was so excited.
And can I mention at this point, Tandega, she was not drinking any alcohol when I first met her. We got to our accommodation in Zanzibar, and before we got up to the room, we went to the bar and we ordered mojitos. And she told the barman, we're just going up to our room, bring a fresh mojito every half hour. Just keep bringing them. And I was like, okay, this is a different version,
from the one he had met before.
But we discovered a joint love of mojitos, didn't we?
Yeah.
That first trip together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. We're in Zanzibar now, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
2022.
Yes, we're in Zanzibar now.
Yes. So, okay. It seems like first date, the nerves were there, but then you guys were able to push past them, and then they left. They were not seen anymore. How
Yeah.
was it finally seeing each other again since not seeing?
Do you want me to? So I would say kind of all my dreams had come true. And I know that sounds a bit corny. I know that sounds a
Oh.
bit corny, but when I'd had so many people either say negative stuff to me or think I was an idiot, and she can't possibly, when I used to show people pictures, like Tandega said, don't send her any money, or there was so negative. To when we met, she was ultra open, ultra friendly. We wasn't stuck for words. The conversation flowed. I kind of thought this is real. So that's why I say kind of my dreams had come true, because I met this beautiful woman that we had a connection with, and we all learn from life. I was married a long time, but there was never that kind of connection. I kind of think now, looking back, we both settled because we both wanted a relationship and children at the time. But really, this was the best and the most open connection I'd ever had. Sorry if that was corny, anyone.
No, it's real. It's love. It's how you felt.
Yeah.
And how were you feeling?
I'm not gonna top that.
It's a specialty.
I was so excited. I think for
Yes.
me, it was the thing of, okay, we've spoken so much over the phone and we literally became each other's, part of my day was speaking to him for the past 2 years. And I was just thinking, I hope, even in person, this is how it is. But as soon as I saw him, like I said, my nerves went away. I was so happy. I was feeling so happy, and I felt like the connection was, what's the word? Like it started all over again. Like when you meet someone for the
Yes.
first time. Yeah, it's like it started all over again. I was feeling like just a teenager in love.
Yes.
Yeah, in love. And we had not like officially agreed or like spoken, okay, this is like we gonna be in a relationship now.
Whoa.
No,
What?
we hadn't. Had we?
Paul.
Yeah, we really had.
No, but the thing is, it
See,
was
the way you guys been talking, I've just been running.
Yeah,
I'm chasing after y'all, trying to
I think
get
Tanae
it.
is remembering it wrong.
no. I think we had spoken about what we want. We do want to be in a relationship, right?
Yes.
But we had not spent time physically together. So it was like us meeting is kind of like now it's gonna confirm, like this 2 weeks is what's actually gonna confirm, like, okay, we can do this. We really enjoy being with each other, even in person. There's no deal breakers that are, that are gonna be or that are gonna happen within these 2 weeks. So that's why for me it's like the 2 weeks was so important for us to say, okay, now this is actually what is happening. So I was just so happy.
Right. And that's fair. So basically, you guys are saying since January 2020, when you guys originally met, though you guys spoke about relationships and what you guys wanted, you guys were not dating up until 2022?
I think Tande, I think you've kind of misrepresented a little bit there. I think we said we were in a relationship with each other.
But it was you guys were making sure that it was sure, like this is what we really want.
But
Okay.
But as much as we're in a relationship together, and that's how I felt, and I'm sure you felt the same, there was always that, but we haven't
met
physically.
like,
The
Okay,
physical.
I get you. So guys,
I think that's what
okay.
Tande was saying.
yeah.
Was until you've sort of got that
Spend
physical time together,
Right.
there's a bit of a question mark over your relationship. I think
I
Yeah.
got you. Okay. Thank you guys for clarifying that. So you guys worked together, but this was the second time you were meeting. The first time you guys planned to meet. The first time you planned to meet, which after 2 years of not seeing each other.
yeah.
Yes, that
Yes.
was the first time we had planned to meet, and
Yes.
yeah, that was the 2 weeks, the most amazing 2 weeks.
Yes. So
You know what,
Yeah.
take us through. Someone comment, they say, I love this. Hey, host and everyone, welcome in, guys. And this is beautiful. It is beautiful. We have the Millers, guys. So yes, take us through the 2 weeks. How was it? What did we do?
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, I think we did a sunset cruise
Yeah.
the next night. We had a massage spa date,
Yeah.
Ooh.
which kind of was only the second time I'd had a massage. The first time, a big Chinese guy was punching me, so it wasn't a great massage.
Yeah.
And we did tourist stuff, but where we was that first week was a bit remote. So I said, look, let's get a different hotel in the main bit of Zanzibar, which is called Stone Town. So we moved the second week, and there was much more to do, and
Okay.
we did some tourist stuff together, and I don't know, we just connected. We just, for me, as beautiful, I mean, look at that smile, as beautiful as she is, if we didn't have that connection, I wouldn't have been so into her. I remember we watched like some of my favourite sort of comedy shows on YouTube, and we watched a couple of films on YouTube, and she really liked what I was showing her, and we were laughing together. And it's kind of those moments that are just as important as any physical moments. It was just a whole great experience. And one thing I must say, the local people of Zanzibar were great. And when they saw me with Tandega, particularly the younger black guys were high-fiving me, and you chose well. And, from all them sort of doubts from the English side before I flew, oh, you're being stupid, or you're an old idiot, to people like, oh, give me 5, and oh, you've chose well, and and really interested in our relationship. It kind of made me feel like a king. I know I'm not a king, but it kind of made me feel a bit special.
Yeah.
What's your memories of Zanzibar?
Zanzibar was beautiful. I think from the first day we really hit it off with so much fun. The place where we were, it had it was close to the ocean. There was like an island. I'm not sure, but I don't remember what it was called. The island place where we stayed the first time.
I can't remember the name. There was only 2 hotels there, just on the coast. We did a sunset cruise, and there was about 6 or 7 other South Africans.
Yeah.
And we just gelled, didn't we? We
gelled, and people were surprised that we just like met again, because obviously we tell them our story, like, oh, this is actually the first time we're spending like time like this together. People were surprised because we just gelled so well. Like, we've known each other for a very long time, which is, I couldn't even believe that I was nervous before. Like, there was nerves before we actually like spent time together. And that's why it's like that 2 years was really, really good for us. Like, the foundation is like, it was like the perfect foundation for our relationship, because when we're in Zanzibar, it's like we had been together forever.
It was just a great 2 weeks. And the only bit I remember was, as I said, the only sort of bit that I felt a bit down was when we said goodbye. And it was the reverse of Arrival, where I'd come first. Tandega was flying about 3 hours before me. So I went with her to the airport, dropped her off, went back to the hotel, and I was just sat in the same bar, the same restaurant for 2 hours by myself. And it just seemed different, It just,
the goodbyes are always... Those are the tear jerkers. Those that the goodbye is like why is life like this?
Exactly.
And the thing was, when we said goodbye,
Hmm.
we sort of said, well, what comes next? And I said,
Yeah.
well, I want you to come to England in the summer, and hopefully we'll be able to do that Thailand trip, which eventually we did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I had a big trip already booked for April. I went to Everest and trekked to base camp.
Hmm.
While I was out there, I managed to wangle a couple of days holiday, and I said to Tandega, I think I can get out to South Africa. I think it was
April, yeah,
for 10 days. Would
Ooh.
you be all right with that? And she said, yes,
Yes.
please. So literally, I can't believe I did this, but I flew to Nepal. We spent 18 days, on this trek to base camp, and while I was there, I was having a bit of a discussion with my work because they initially refused my holidays, and I booked flights, and eventually they changed it. And I would literally come home for a week, and then I went on another long flight this time to South Africa. So it was. So we'd re-met, in January 22, and then we met again for 10 days in South Africa, April 2022.
Okay, so now you guys are making up.
Yeah,
Making up
exactly.
the time missed. Yes. Yes. And that's good. That's really good. So in April 2022, 10 days in South Africa. Now you're back. This is, I'm sure, maybe second time going to South Africa.
My second time.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So take us through. How was South Africa?
We had planned a trip to Lesotho. Yeah. We had planned a day trip to Lesotho, and we had planned to go to Durban, which is my hometown.
Okay.
But we're just, going to Durban for holiday, not to like meet my parents or anything, but because it's a very beautiful area. We did meet my mom. So that is.
Tell about the custom of meeting your mom.
Yes.
For anyone that doesn't know.
Okay, I'm getting there. Okay. So then in April, he came, and then did we meet in Durban, babe?
No, I flew to Johannesburg, and then I had a car and we drove to Durban.
Oh yes. So we had a road trip to Durban, and we got to Durban, and I think the following day, that's when we went to Lesotho.
1 or 2 days.
1 or 2 days after, that's when we went to Lesotho. And now when we were meeting, we were so excited. I was literally counting down the days that he was coming, because now we had met, and we had, like in January, in January when we met in Zanzibar. Now it was like, like new love. Everything it felt like it's new. And so when April was coming and he said he's coming to, see me in April, we were so excited, was counting down the days, like, okay, and planning like what we're going to do. So we drove to Durban, and the drive is like 6 hours drive. So it was really also like good time for us, to talk and just catch up, how have you been? How is, home been? And we
usually spend about half an hour arguing about music whenever we're in the car. we just, normally we've only, like any couple have arguments, but, generally we've had a few when we've both had a few drinks, like you do. When we're both sober, not that we drink too much, but when we're both we generally only argue about music.
Music is where we get reminded that, there's actually an age gap here. Like the music taste is so different.
I like good music. Anyway.
And then we spent a day. We went to Lesotho, and in Lesotho, on our way to Lesotho, we were driven by this guy who he really got along with because of the Everest base camp, just talking about, his experience there. And for me, I didn't realize how much of a big deal the whole Everest thing was, because I didn't know about it until he spoke to this guy. And it was just, and the way this guy was so happy, and just like speaking to him, I was so proud. Like, this is my man. Like, my man has done this, and it's something that is such, a big deal, and just shows how strong he is. So it was like, okay, I'm really, really proud of him that he's done that. And then we came back.
Maybe you could look at my pictures now then.
No.
I've tried showing her pictures. She gets I get onto the third picture and she's like, all right, I've seen it.
It's like whenever he speaks about it, he's gonna take out the pictures and show the pictures. And I didn't understand at first, but then after like the whole thing with that guy, I knew how much of a big deal it was. And then I think, because I'm from obviously South Africa, when I had gone the first time, my mom had, asked me who I'm going with. Obviously, she wanted all the information. So with him coming, my mom wanted to meet him, because obviously now I'm telling her, things went well, and we're speaking about me going to England in June and stuff. And yeah, so my mom wanted to meet this man. So then we arranged for him and my mom to meet. And so in my culture, there is this thing of when you are meeting the woman's parents and you have like intentions, to marry, you have to bring a gift. Yeah, you have to bring a gift. So traditionally,
whoa! Were you saying that it was at that point that we were going to get married? You said to me, it's just a date.
No.
I've just realised I've been brought into a trap.
Hey, he's funny, okay?
I mean, you got it 2 years before me. I just realised.
I mean, in our, you can't just come home to meet my mom and then you're just walking, like it's just very symbolic. So then traditionally, it's our culture, yes, boy. So he had to, traditionally you buy a 3 pots. I don't know if you know, like a 3 pots. It's just symbolic, like this is a gift that you're giving to to the mother of your woman. So yes,
you said it's what is it, please?
Cooking.
It's a cooking pot. It's a 3 pot.
Okay.
It's a 3-legged pot. You see, a 3-legged pot that in the olden days they would use to cook like on fire outside.
I got you. Yes. So that wasn't even, like it wasn't more symbolic and more.
Exactly.
It's not like.
It's not like an engagement, right?
Yes,
it's more like symbolic, thank you, here, make some soup. Thank you so much for raising this beautiful woman.
Let's put it this way, like any person, when you're meeting your future mother-in-law, as I now realise you're kind of a bit nervous and conversation's a bit awkward. And then I gave the money across in this nice little bag we bought in Zanzibar and said, I want to respect your culture, and there's the money for your cooking pot. And Tanega's mum, the big smile came across her face, and she was really happy. And I thought, you know what, enjoy your cooking pot, and thank you,
Yeah. And they met with my mom. We met for dinner. I mean, for lunch. Actually, we met for lunch at just a restaurant. And she was, she was happy. She approved. Because he's a very charming man, and he's very charming.
I was going to say, please stop, but no, more. Keep it going.
Yes.
He charmed her, with the charisma, everything. And I have a little brother, and my brother was fond of him. So that was like the best 10 days. We spent.
About what day did you guys go to meet your mom?
It was probably about 4 or 5 days into the trip, you think? Or maybe 6 or 7. Kind of in the middle towards
right in the middle of the whole trip. After Lesotho, though, because Lesotho is the first thing that we did. It's the first thing that we did. And then I think we arranged for like 4 or 5 days later to meet my mom. Yeah. And she was happy, and
I think for me, a bit like Zanzibar, a lot of people that we came across seemed generally happy for us, and like I said, particularly younger people saying, you chose well, and I'm learning about South Africa, and I know a lot more about it now, but race is such a big issue there still. So people seeing us together was great, but you do get people saying negative stuff. And I remember we was in a shopping mall in Durban. I was going up an escalator, coming down, these 2 Zulu women. One had said to the other in Zulu, she's with him for money.
Yeah.
For some reason, not
Is Zulu the language that you speak in South Africa?
Yes,
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 yeah.
Okay.
I'm Zulu.
So you
Yeah,
caught
So not
on.
realizing that
Hmm.
she knows what she said.
Right.
yes.
Hmm.
You know,
You know, it was from the stairs, like the way people stare,
Mm.
from the stairs, like like the
Yes.
whispering. Yeah. And then these ones, I don't know, maybe they just think I didn't understand them or they just did not care.
Hmm.
They just said that, like, yeah,
Hmm.
she's definitely with him for money. And it was so shocking. And these are like grown women, like,
Yes.
women like my mom's age, my mother's
Hmm.
age. And I told him, like, damn, this is what is happening, because obviously the
Hmm.
stairs are very clear. It's just the language, which was, why he couldn't hear.
Hmm.
But yeah, we got like a different mixed
Hmm.
reactions.
It
yeah.
amazes me how people speak on things that they're not in. What does
Exactly.
it? Why? You know what I mean? What do you gain from it? Happiness is free, guys. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um,
And
it's not
and you
something
don't
that you
even
have to
know the
pay
people.
for. Hmm.
You don't even know the
Yes.
people that you're speaking about. Like, you don't know their story. You don't know whether they've been together for 10, 15 years. Like, you,
Hmm.
you can't just speak on, just by seeing people like walking at a mall,
Hmm.
saying, oh, she's with him for money. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
I think also being in this relationship, it's been such a learning curve for both of us,
Hmm.
and that presents challenges
Hmm.
like that, but it also presents real growth because I'm like learning about different culture, different
Yes.
upbringing. I've learned a few Zulu words, not many because I'm rubbish at languages, but I like tell my family, oh, I've done this, and you're spreading someone else's culture, and they're effectively learning from you, and I think it's a great thing,
It
really.
Hmm.
is.
You're forever learning because it's always something new. You know what I mean? It's like growing up, you grew up where you're from and she grew up where she's from, but then it's like those are two experiences that get to merge over time and you share,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you learn from each other. So South Africa is coming to an end.
Yes.
10 days has gone,
Yes.
and you guys are planning to see each other, I believe, in Thailand. Is
Uh,
Thailand in
Yes.
June?
Soon.
well, sorry, babe. What happened was I said to Tandega, come to England because
Oh,
Tandega's
England was in June. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Sorry.
so she was staying for June till end of August, and then at the end of August we were both flying out to Thailand, and then coming
Okay.
back for a few days,
Yeah.
and then you
Okay.
were back to South Africa because
Yeah.
Tandega was a law student, so she could have the time
Hmm.
off,
Yeah,
through the
yeah.
summer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So the next meeting was I think end of June in England. She flew to London.
Yes.
Um, and I met her in London. We spent did the tourist thing in London.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
Uh,
had to. I couldn't just pass
Yeah.
by because it was my first time. My
Hmm.
sister already asked me to take a picture of that red telephone for her.
Yes.
Okay, babe, okay. Yeah, please open the window. It's so hot. It's steaming hot here.
Okay.
Yeah, my sister had already asked me to take a picture of that red telephone for her. And I wanted to see the London Eye. I wanted to do like all the London
Yes.
things. So we spent a few days in London. And unfortunately, we hadn't gotten COVID like throughout the whole 2 years. But then in that weekend, we both caught COVID. Like,
in London.
imagine.
What?
We actually we did not catch it for the full 2 years, but then
Hmm.
now when it's supposed to be better, then we caught COVID in London. Yeah, but it was nice. I mean, it was I guess it was worth it.
Hmm.
It was worth it.
Hmm.
Yeah, we spent a few days in London and then we came back here. So this was the first time, like I'm seeing the house
Yes.
and I'm just seeing like the community, I'm seeing the area. And it was really nice because like some of the stuff, he told me about, he would go for walks. Like when he's going for walks, he would like sometimes video call and then send pictures. So I kind of knew some areas because I'd seen them in pictures. So to actually be here and see them in person was really nice. Like, this is what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was really nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
No, you go. It's fine.
okay. So you guys are really making up time that you missed. Those 2 years, It seems like every chance that you guys were getting, you guys were spending with each other. And I think that's a beautiful sight to see. I want to know, were people's reactions starting to change at this point? Like, were people
Well,
starting to really believe, oh, not
Nah,
even after he came to
nah,
South
girl.
Africa, then you go,
Nah, girl, they were not. Some even
oh.
now they haven't changed,
Mm-hmm.
like it was, and that's a thing. I was even saying because with some people that were close to him, not mentioning names, I was
Mm-hmm.
very compassionate. I was like, you know what, babe, just give them time. They're gonna come around. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see as time goes that actually we are together for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
But it just didn't. It just didn't. With some, it got worse. The longer we're
Mm-hmm.
together, it's just like, how could you, how could you still be doing this? And yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it was very disappointing that for some
Mm-hmm.
people it hadn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
Some family members, I thought, once I'm here, maybe they'd be open to meeting me, even if it's just like quick coffee, just like see me
Yes.
at least in
mm,
person and just see how much I care about, Mick, how much I care
Mm-hmm.
about him, and maybe just get to know me as a person. Maybe the pictures are kind of like giving a very wrong impression, which I don't know how. But maybe since I'm here, I can meet some people and they can just see how we are around each other first.
Right.
And just, yeah, because that doesn't lie. Like the energy and the chemistry between people will
We
never
can
be.
see it here. Nobody,
Yes.
oh,
everybody that's coming
thank
up.
you.
Florida Bear says
Yeah.
congratulations to both of you. Everybody that comes up, that's all that they're commenting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think Tandega. I obviously this beautiful younger woman. I'm walking around the village like a king. Looking great. We're going into the local bars and restaurants, and in some ways it's still a small village. People know me, and they're sort of doing like a double take. and people I don't know. We were sat, and they would, like older people. They'd be like staring. And Tandega, after a few sort of times of this, would like smile at them and say, "Hello, can I help you?" Or is it,
Yeah.
and sort of make them have a bit of a conversation, or
Yeah.
make them feel a little bit awkward,
Yeah.
and
I think also for me, it's kind of like the way people were staring, also because this area is predominantly white.
True.
I think there's only like a few black people that you can count in one hand. So I thought they're staring because they don't know what to say. So maybe let me just like show them that, I'm approachable, like you can say something, you can greet at least, like don't just stare. So when people are staring, I just smile, or like wave or just do something to show that you can talk if you want to say something. Because in my mind I was thinking, surely not everybody is looking at us and thinking negatively. Maybe some are just admiring but they don't know what to say. So if I open that space, like, okay, I'm friendly, you can approach us. Maybe then they're gonna say stuff, because it has happened, sometimes where I'm gonna do that and the person then really opens up and starts talking. Oh, you guys, you're so beautiful. I've been watching you. Where you guys from? Like then it starts a conversation. So I
Hmm.
thought, okay, let me just do that. But for some, that wouldn't be the case.
Hmm.
There wouldn't be the case of, oh, they're just staying because they don't know what to say.
I found people more accepting in South Africa and Tanzania than over here.
Yeah.
But you know what? You've just got to get on with it and roll with it, and it's been fine really. You just get used to it, and you give them something to. I think if you're giving them something to talk about,
Yeah.
Hmm.
you're doing something positive. That's how I sort of see it.
Yes. So you spent end of June to August in London. I'm
In
sure you
Leeds,
did.
in
Sorry.
Leeds. 4 hours north of London, a place called
Okay.
Leeds. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we flew to Thailand in September for three weeks. It was
Hmm.
brilliant.
Hmm.
It was brilliant.
It was.
Thailand, that's a hot spot right now. I want to visit Thailand. Um,
Oh,
how was it? Where were you guys at? Were you in Bangkok or Phu? What is
We,
it?
we
Phuket?
did we did 4 different places. We started in
Ooh.
Phuket.
Okay.
We had a week there. That first night we had a few drinks, but after a long flight. Then we went to this elephant sanctuary, which was brilliant. We got to feed elephants, Asian elephants.
Yeah.
Then we went to
Koh
Samui, which is like a little island resort, which was great. And then we ended up in Bangkok, which people had always. A lot of people had been to Bangkok first that we met. And
that's why I started. Yes.
Yeah.
People are, oh, Bangkok, you won't like it. It's this, it's that. We loved it because there was so much to do. You know, I mean, it's a busy city, but within that, there's so much to see and do. And I'm a city person, so I like cities anyway. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was about to say that most people say that Bangkok is more city-like, is more choked there. What did you guys do?
We went island hopping. Oh, in Bangkok. In Bangkok or just Thailand, because my favorite was island hopping, so we went island hopping in Phuket.
Yes.
We did James Bond Island, we did PP Islands, and we did this other one, is it Mai Peng or something, I forgot the name. Yeah, but we did island hopping, and he's a city boy. I love islands. I'm an island girl, so I love islands. So I was in my element there. I was so happy. It was just like so relaxed and so zen, and yeah, it was actually the perfect holiday. We did, the island, and then we got to experience the city life.
So I'm going to tell a quick story. So we after Phuket, we then went to the elephant sanctuary, and part of the package they did us this transfer where we were in a minibus with another couple for about 3 hours, and they drove us at the ferry point, and they went and bought us the ticket, and they left us to get the ferry, and then they pick you up at the other end. Foolproof, you might think, absolutely foolproof. So we're sat at this cafe, it's a big tourist area, and one of the employees, in the uniform, had a mask on, starts shouting. Presumably ferries arrive and everyone gets up. So we just followed everybody else with our cases, flashed our tickets, and then we got to the ferry and we had big cases, and we got on the ferry and we had to drag them up these stairs. Finally sat down, and I'm thinking, I'm sweating, it's hot. And then Tandega, for some reason, said to one of the employees, "What time do we get in Koh Samui?" And she said, "This ferry doesn't go to Koh Samui. It goes to this other island." And I looked, I went, "Oh, you're joking." So luckily, we dragged the cases back, we got off, and when we got to the point where they checked our tickets, we said to the woman, "Oh, we got the wrong ferry," and she started having a go at us. "I told you this is Koh, blah 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 blah," and then we sat at this table with this other couple that we'd gone on the transfer with, and they were laughing at us, and we just had to put our hands up. But for some reason, God was on our side, and we came off, and we ended up on the right ferry.
We almost got in the wrong ferry.
But yeah,
we almost did.
Wow.
Yeah. It would have been, and I think when they were going, there was like a moon party or something that night. Yes, where that ferry was going, there was like a moon party. So we're just like joking and speaking about it later on. Like, we would have just gone to the moon party because we wouldn't have had accommodation if we took that ferry and got there. So we'd have just partied all night and just not sleep with our suit. The thing is also our suitcases were so big and there was a lot of them. So it was just like a bit funny and annoying having to carry them back after we took them all the way up. But yeah, that was a funny experience. And we went to see the big Buddha. We went to see the big Buddha, and when we were in Bangkok, we saw the other smaller big Buddha, which is like the golden one.
It's in
Koh Samui actually. Yeah.
My memory for trips is a little bit better.
Much better. It's much better.
Correct, just
yeah.
I think in Bangkok, we went to a floating market, which was amazing. We went to a tiger sanctuary, and I was really nervous and asking questions because people had already said, they drug the tigers, and etc. etc. So the woman that was showing us around, she asked a lot of questions, and she said, well, look, go to the sanctuary and ask your questions, to the lady. And if you want to go in, you can go in and pay. If you don't. So we went, and the woman that was selling the tickets actually kind of run the place, and she was very reassuring. And there were like different levels of package, and the top level was going in with the tigers. And before I know it, with that, Tandega were like, let's do that. So we did that. And next thing I know, we're going in this area with 4 tigers. And as we're going in, she said to us, you're lucky, normally only put you within 1 or 2, but we've got 4 for you. And like, my heart is thumping. You know, we're going in with 4 tigers, and they are literally walking round. And then we've got pictures with them, stroking them. And Tandega has no fear whatsoever. And the guide said the main rule is you don't sit in or don't go in front of them. You know, have your pictures, but you must go behind. Tandega was so into it. She's stroking the tiger, and she said, "Oh, can I get a picture with me sat in the front?" And I said, no. And I was like, my heart was beating. You know,
so scared.
I was scared, but it was fine, and it was a great experience.
It was.
You know?
It was a great experience.
Yeah. And that was Bangkok. Oh, we went to you've got to go to the red light area in Bangkok and see that. That was quite
very interesting. Yeah, it was very, very interesting, because you just can't tell, you know, who is the she, who is the he. It was very, very interesting.
You said that's where is it?
It's the Red District.
The Red District.
The Red District, but it's like Red District is like the
Swar Cowboy.
I think it's Cowboys Road or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But the Red District is basically, you know, the adult entertainment area.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Which is partly what Thailand's famous for.
Yeah.
Right.
That and the food.
Yes. Okay, because I always see a few people. They're always at it's one place. There's like different. It's like a food place. I don't know. It's like several different vendors or something there.
A food place. Maybe you're not talking about the floating markets.
Yes.
Yes, the floating market. We did actually post about it also on our page. We did go to the floating market. It was the most incredible thing, because it's like these different vendors. Yes, there's food, but also there's like souvenirs that you can take home.
Yes,
yes, that you can take home, crafts and arty stuff like earrings, and you know. And the thing is, you're on this boat. Basically, everyone is on a boat, and then you're just floating around. It's like you window shopping.
It's a canoe, just for
it's
a very small boat.
Yeah, it's a very small, it's like you window shopping, and you know, you're seeing all these things you can stop and buy, or you can just, you know.
People. So you're on a canoe, someone's paddling, and then the other way you've got sellers on a canoe, and we bought a couple of beers, and the canoe sort of breaks and paddles over to you, and you buy the beers, and then you bought some chicken.
Yes.
You know,
chicken
she's always
skewers.
hungry. Chicken skewers. Literally, as you're on the boat, it was a great experience. And then the other thing I just remember we did in Bangkok, we did a night cruise down the main river there, which I forget what it's called, with music, and it's the lights of the place of Bangkok at night is amazing.
It's like a light show, but it's not really a light show, but it's just so
everything's
beautiful.
lit up.
The way everything is lit up, like different colors. So that was a lovely experience as well.
Yeah.
So as you can see, like travel is really kind of like the main
something that you guys are able to connect on. That's something that from the beginning was a whole thing for you guys, that you wanted to explore and see more. So you guys were in Thailand for how long?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks in Thailand.
Okay, so Thailand's finished. Where are we going? What are we doing?
So I think you had about a week back in England, and then after that week you flew back to South Africa. And generally our plan then moving forward was January I would fly out to South Africa for 2 weeks, and then in summer Tandega would come for 3 or 4 months. And when I flew out to South Africa, I'd say, look, let's incorporate some other countries. So the next time, in January, we went to Namibia. The time after, we we went to Zimbabwe, you know, Victoria Falls and Zambia, day trips, and Botswana, because it's kind of, I know it's kind of a personal goal is racking up the countries, you know.
Yes.
I want to see as much as possible, and if that means dashing over a border to say you've been, I don't know. It's just kind of a thing, and so January generally I would fly out for 2 weeks, and Tanega would come in the
June for summer.
This is 2023, right?
Well,
yes.
Or 2020?
No, sorry, 2022. In 2023. So after
This is back to South Africa, right?
Yeah. So after Thailand, she went back to South Africa. Then in January 2023, I flew to South Africa.
Yes, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And then we did a few days in Namibia, and then
In that first trip,
in that
yes, in that first trip,
January 2023, when you went to South Africa, then you guys went to
Namibia.
Yes, we did Namibia.
Okay, Namibia. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the summer 2023, you're back in London.
Yes, I'm back in London.
I must correct you, Leeds. You know, I'm a proud Leeds man. Yeah, but not London. But yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Where? Tell me again, please.
It's Leeds.
Leeds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is in London.
Yeah.
No,
it's
4 hours from London.
Okay.
Same country, but 4 hours from London.
It's in England. It's just like it's in England.
Okay.
So England, and then
Leeds. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she came back, and we had another trip planned, and I told about racking up the countries. So we planned a trip to Singapore, and then to Bali.
You guys are going all the places I want to go.
I'm finished. And then to Vietnam. We did 2 places in Vietnam. So we did 3 countries at the September 2023.
Yeah.
And that was just amazing.
It was.
I kind of enjoyed that. Again, with this whole time, our relationship's growing, you know. I think in 2023, we had a few more arguments and a few more bumps in the road.
Yeah.
But really, that's a good thing, because you get things off your chest, and, you know, you move forward, and it's you don't see it at the time, but looking back, I think it's a good thing.
I think also one thing I want to mention is, so with this what is the word, with this way of doing things that we've come up with, which is him coming to South Africa in January and me coming here in February. What we do, June. So what we do is we do another country, but then we'd always end our trip in Cape Town. So we do another country, any African country, in January, and then go back to Cape Town, and then go back to Caprice, where we met like the first time. And it's just been like such a special thing for us to do. Whenever we go in January, we'd go to another country and then go back to Cape Town, Cafe Caprice, and just like kind of, you know, talk about, you know, and relive the whole day, like the whole first time we met, you think, and just talk about it. And it's been very interesting, you know, because whenever we speak about it, it's like there's other different things that come up, like, oh, you know, this is what happened, or this is what I was thinking at the time. So yeah, ever since then, we've just been going back to Cafe Caprice. And yeah, then 2023, we did those countries. We did Singapore, we did Southeast Asia. So Singapore, Vietnam, and Bali. And this is me in Bali. And yeah. And yeah, Bali is actually my top 3 favorites. With everything that we've done, Bali is definitely my top 3. Yeah.
So the last trip was when in 2023?
No, with more. With more.
Yeah, I'm saying, where did you guys stop after Leeds?
So that was so we did those 3 countries, and then again Tanega would fly back to England with me for about a week, and then she'd go back to South Africa. So what you have to bear in mind is, on a tourist visa for the UK, the maximum you can stay is 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, even if we wanted her to stay
longer.
She couldn't.
Yeah, really couldn't.
So
And yeah, I would only do 3 months. So you were asking our last stop in 2023, like with the Southeast Asian countries that we did, which one was the last that we did?
Yes.
Oh, so the last one was it Vietnam?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
So
Vietnam.
the
Okay.
last one, yes, so the last one was Vietnam. And yeah, it was a very interesting trip.
I love Vietnam.
got to
Vietnam's one of
learn-
my favourites.
Yeah.
That country has been through the mill for the last 50 years, and the people are so resilient. I love history as well, which kind of fuels some of my passion for travelling.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an amazing country, is Vietnam.
Yeah, the trip was very interesting because he got to, since he loves history, so the Vietnam was like more historic stuff to see, and learn. And then Bali was more, the islandy, temples, exploring temples, very like spiritual, which is more my side. So it was a trip that, it accommodated both of us really, really well. So hence my favorite is Bali and his is Vietnam. And then Singapore was
Singapore is great, but it's so
expensive. Yeah, it's so expensive, and like they don't do like other countries where they're very accommodating to tourists. They just not. They open their establishments at 10 a.m. and then 6 p.m. they're closed. Yeah, it's like we don't need you. We don't need you tourists. So yeah, it was very different, and cocktails are expensive. So it was a very different experience for Singapore. But he liked it.
I mean, we ended up at this beach party there's a tourist area called Sentosa, and we ended up at this beach party, and it was so much fun. It really was brilliant. It was a real highlight.
Do you know Peter Drury, babe?
No, I don't know Peter Drury. Do you?
Yeah, I actually had to look up to see who it was.
Yeah.
But
Sightseeing, yeah, definitely.
yes.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I'm always of this belief that if you're going to travel for 12 hours to, say, Southeast Asia, and it's going to cost you quite a bit of money, there's no point sitting in your hotel room or around the swimming pool reading a book. You've got to go and see things while you're there.
Yeah.
And yes, it costs, but what's the point in life if you're just going to go just sit and do nothing? So we do, both of us, we more sort of have favourite things, like more countryside, but it's about the experience. It's about doing stuff.
Yeah, it is.
So from Vietnam, you guys go back to England.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when do you leave England to go back to South Africa?
About a week later, I think that is towards the end of September, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end of September. So about a week later, I leave and I go back to South Africa, knowing that I'm going to see him in January, because that is just like the system from 2022. That had been our system, So, and obviously towards the end of our trip, or like the week when I'm back here, then we'd start, discussing what are we doing next, where are we going next, because when we see each other, we know that we want to be, traveling. So we choose the African country and start booking that, knowing very well that we're going to end in Cape Town for the rest of the trip. And so that's what we did.
So
2023.
Yeah. So then we next met January 2024.
Yes.
And we met I flew to Joburg, and then we flew from there to Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls, and I have to say, that the Victoria Falls is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And that's coming from someone that likes a good bar in a city, a good rooftop bar, with a nice cocktail. But Victoria Falls, hi Sandy, that blew my mind, Victoria Falls. The way we saw it, we saw the Zimbabwe side first, where you sort of at a distance, and I thought, this is amazing. And then we saw the Zambian side where you're close up. I thought, I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. It was absolutely brilliant.
It was incredible. It was incredible. One of the most beautiful places ever. Yeah. So we were there, and then after that we went back to Cape Town to finish the rest of our trip. Then after that I went back to Joburg because I was still staying in Joburg. Yeah.
And then where's next after January? When next do you guys plan to meet?
So the summer
Yes,
in England,
yes.
and I started. So generally, we talk about what countries we want to go to, but generally, it's me that plans it and says, "Oh, well, you'll need a visa for here," and etc. etc. And I've never been to South America, and obviously neither had Tandega. And I looked, and there was 5 countries that neither of us needed a visa for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, like I said, if you're going to fly for 10 or 12 hours, let's rack those countries up and do it in one big trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and for the first time, I'd used a company for these other big trips. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this myself. So I planned for Tandega to come out again, sort of June 2024. But for September, I booked flights for us. We started in Peru, in Lima, capital. Then we went to Cusco, so we could see Machu Picchu and Rainbow Mountain, if people know that. Then we went to Chile. Then we went to Argentina. Sorry, Peru. Sorry, we went to Chile. Then we went to Uruguay. Then we went to Argentina. Then we went to Brazil. And it was just the most wonderful 3 weeks. It was 5 countries, no hassle with visas.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely brilliant. But I think the key thing came was we were talking before you came to England around the sort of April, May time. And it was at that point I kind of knew that in our relationship that we needed to put it on a more permanent footing, you know, and hence we verbally got engaged, but technically we got engaged in July 2024.
Yeah. I think for me, I was actually about to say that we kind of skipped an important part because so in when we're in Zimbabwe, because now we've been together for a couple of years. So now when we're in Zimbabwe, I'm not even sure how it came, but then this is when now the conversation of, taking things to the next level came. This is where we started speaking about, okay, so we've been doing this thing of, 3 months here, 2 weeks here, and it's kind of taking a toll on us now because...
Thank you, Sunday. Sorry to interrupt. Thank you, Sunday.
Yeah. So it's kind of taking a toll on us now because, the more we're together, obviously when we spend time together, it's getting harder and harder when we have to like separate, and say our goodbyes. It's really just getting hard. So then, we started speaking. He started asking about, how in my culture, because things are very different. So how are things done in my culture? How does everything go? And, and then we started speaking about how would life be, with if we got married and just, those kind of conversations. And that's where like we realized, okay, there's, life would be great. He understood what is expected from my culture should, we get married.
Hang on one second. So I did, but it's the first time I'd learned about the umembeso.
Yes, lobola negotiations.
For the explain if you want. What that is.
Yeah, lobola negotiations. So that's when I told them like how things go in my culture. So basically the groom has to send a letter to my parents to say what his intentions are and ask for a date where he can come with his uncles to start the lobola negotiations, which is basically like paying the bride price. So it's paying the bride price, and after paying the bride price there is umembe. So it's when they're giving, his family is giving gifts to my family, very symbolic gifts like blankets, and I think it's different with every like African culture, but it's a thing that we do, the bride price. So I explained that to him, and he had a lot of questions about it, like how does it work, who would, because he doesn't have any elders anymore, like who would do this for him and stuff like that. So we came to an understanding of what was expected, should we want to take that step, and we both love each other, and this is a step that just seems right considering the time we've been together and how we feel about each other and how like the night before we're gonna separate the following day, it would be just so sad. Like even at dinner, or like if we're doing something fun, the mood and the energy would just be so down and sad, because we know, this is like the last, this is like the last time before we actually, like, say our goodbyes. So yeah, in January, that's when we had that conversation. And then in April, that's when we were just having the call, and then he just asked me to marry him. In April, on a call, he just, proposed, and I was like,
I've got to stop drinking alcohol, really.
yeah.
Once
so-
I said it, that was it. My whole life was just took over. Right, you need to pay this lobola fee. You need to slaughter 2 lambs. You need to do this. You need to pick me out under a blanket. And I'm like, whoa, hang on.
It's a very interesting tradition that we have in my culture, and I even told him that, in my culture, that is more recognized more than the actual, like the Western way, the white wedding and the whole ring and stuff. For us, it's the lobola that is like very, very important. So he understood how important it was. And yeah, then in April, he, we had the conversation. It was like he was thinking about the stuff that we spoke about, and he doesn't want to wait anymore. So I marry him.
Just to give you the time frame. So Tandega flew out in June 2024. We spent the time in England, and then September 2025 we did the South America trip. Excuse me. And then when we came back, it was October the 5th. Tandega had flown back to South Africa 2 weeks before. Then I flew to Durban on October the 4th, and then October the 5th we had the lobola negotiations and the umembeso ceremony all in one day. Which was an experience I was privileged to take part. And again, I don't want that to sound sort of corny, but just seeing so many people singing and dancing and so happy it just really raised my spirit to see all these people generally so happy for us, And there were some interesting characters there later on at night after a few drinks. But it was just the whole experience.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the time frame of it all.
Yeah, that is the time frame. But yeah, getting engaged and getting the ring, we did that in July. Yes, July.
In England.
Yeah, in England. We went to this beautiful castle. So we went to this beautiful castle. It's called, no, it's not a castle. What is it? Holy Island.
Holy Island.
It's like there's ruins. There's the monastery.
There is a castle there and a monastery.
Yes, in the monastery. But then we actually got engaged at the monastery ruins. Yeah, I did post about it. So we went there. We were just going there to see it and check it out. But he had a surprise planned. So yeah, that's where we got engaged on the 19th of July. And I was just so happy because I never really wanted to be engaged for a really long time. If we're getting engaged, then there should be a concrete plan on like what's happening. I don't want to just be engaged and just indefinitely. Yeah.
I was thinking, let's get engaged for 5 years. And I was like, nah.
Rather don't give it. Don't give it.
I mean, for me, I got divorced in 2019, and I never thought by 2025 I'd be remarried. But hey, somebody had a different plan for me and for us, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
Wow. So after going to South Africa in August, right? And you guys did the traditional October. Sorry, October. What was next? When you spoke on it, you said you didn't want to be a fiance too long, and due to the time spent and everything like that, guys.
So we'd looked into getting Tandega over to England. She'd given up her apartment, or she had plans to. Her year-long lease was coming to end, and we started asking about visas. And there was 2 routes that we could take. We could get over here on a fiance visa, which cost a lot, and you have 6 months to get married in England.
Mm-hmm.
Then you apply for a spouse visa, which also costs a lot.
Yeah.
Or you can get married abroad and then apply for a spouse visa and cut out that fiance visa.
Right.
So you can save £2,000 by getting a spouse visa, but you have to fly somewhere else. So because we're travellers, we said, look, I don't want to spend £2,000 on a bit of paperwork. I'd rather spend £6,000 and cut out that and have a great honeymoon holiday and get married abroad. So we planned for February 2025 to get married in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And then when after the marriage, Tandega stayed in England again for about 4 or 5 weeks. And then to apply for the spouse visa, she had to fly back to South Africa.
Yeah.
And then the visa application got put in, and we had to wait about 6-8 weeks. And then she got a spouse visa, which is like a 2 years, 9 months visa, and then it has to be renewed. And then she flew back out here June 20. June?
Arrived here the 30th of June.
30th of June.
Yeah.
So we're together now, effectively permanently. I mean,
Yes.
our plans are kind of in flex for the future, you know, but effectively we're sort of permanently together.
Yeah.
So that was the why we did that route. And the thing is, with anyone that's in a long distance inter-country relationship, there's so many rules and regulations these days. In England, you've really got to look at the how, the why, you know, and you know, work within the system as much as it's annoying, you know, and that's how we ended up, you know, in this situation where we're finally at this point where in the near future we don't have to worry about being separated. You know, it's our choice, not somebody else's choice. Say, oh no, you've got a visa and it's going to finish. You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And for me, it was so exciting because I think from the time I was like 16, Jamaica has been on my bucket list. Like Jamaica has been that one place where I'm like, I have to go to this place. At one point, obviously I didn't know better, but I was like, you know what? I want to move to Jamaica and just stay there like full time. That's how much I liked it. So I was just thinking when I was getting ready about to walk down the aisle that, you know, it's so funny. I always wanted to come to Jamaica, but I did never ever think
that would be where you get married.
Right, like this would be where I get married. I just had that full circle moment, like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get married to the love of my life in this place that I've always wanted to come. So it was just so special. Like it was so special, and it wouldn't have worked out any other way. Like this is the most perfect way it worked out for me. I was just so happy.
Yeah.
Jamaica was brilliant as well.
It was.
It was a great experience.
It was a great experience. So we spent like 2
weeks.
But then like before getting married, so we got there three days before the actual. That's right. Yeah, we got there 3 days before the actual wedding day, and then so we did like the pre-wedding few days there, and then we did the honeymoon after the wedding, and it was just so lovely. We were at this all-inclusive resorts, adults only, and a lot of people there had just gotten married or they were celebrating their honeymoon or their anniversary. So it was really like a place that was beautiful, yes, but also it was filled with so much love. You know, we met so many couples. Some had been married for like 36 years, and obviously, you know, we're telling them we just got married, and they had all these beautiful advices like this is what you need to do, you know, this is how we've lasted for this long. So it was really just full of love and positivity. Yeah.
Plus, you could drink as much as you like.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah, we had a few Coca-Colas, didn't we? You know.
Just a few.
Mhm.
I mean, they were opening the bars at like 11.
Mhm.
So from 11, they opened the bar, and then the food from 12, like they start serving lunch, and you could literally eat anything and everything you want, from jerk chicken to rice and peas, pizza. Yeah, everything. It was literally everything. It was so lovely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys have a beautiful love story.
Thank you.
A lot of time spent, I'm sure, a lot of conversations. Um, and I mean, I like the fact that you were like, since you were young, Jamaica was a place, and you never knew that that would be,
Yeah.
a place.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm.
So now life is lifing.
Yes.
What is next? What is the next trip? Now that you guys are permanently.
Do you want me to answer that, or you?
Yes, I'm gonna answer this one.
Okay.
So, so now that we're here, I'm settling in very well. I've been here for a month,
Yes.
and one thing that I really love about us is that we both really like our space. We're very like individually strong personality people. And I like that we know how to regulate, like, okay, I can let him, be, lead, and then also we can take turns. So one thing that was kind of, important for me when I came here is to also have my own social circle, independent of him, because everybody that I knew here was through him. So I've been, I've been getting myself out there. I have joined like dance studios,
Yes.
yes, I've joined dance studios. I've joined an art society, doing stuff. Oh yes, so this is my artwork that I did this Wednesday.
Oh yes, that's cute.
Yes, I'm learning.
Other way round.
Yes.
Wait, it's supposed to be
That way round.
no, babe.
Is it?
No, it's supposed. So the moon is under. So
Oh,
the
is it?
moon, the moon is actually under.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
yeah.
a low moon. That is a low moon.
Hey,
What were
you
you
look-
thinking? Moon should be up here.
You're staring at it from the horizon, like it's far.
I've never seen a moon that low.
So I've really done, like, I'm integrating here very well. I am settling in very well. And the thing is, my husband, because like I'm saying, our personalities are very similar. He's been very encouraging, for me to like make my own friends, have my own life, because obviously, the sacrifice of me moving here, I had to leave everything I know back home, my friends, my family, and like moving to a whole new country for some people can be a bit depressing and lonely, as like outside of your relationship, it is important that you still want to have a life. So he's been very encouraging for me to go out there. I'm starting a gym very soon, so I'm really like getting out there. And what we are busy with now, because since I have a South African passport, I can't really travel Europe. I need to have a Schengen visa. So right now we're in the process of me getting the Schengen visa. And then once I get the Schengen visa, we are planning on going to Italy. So for our birthdays, planning on going to Italy for his birthday, and then we're doing Paris for my birthday.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Paris. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So yeah.
You do realise it's full of French people there, don't you?
I know, and I know it's gonna be cold and snowing when we go.
Right,
But I'm so
yes.
ready. My Pinterest board is ready. So that is actually what we're in the process of now, getting my Schengen visa, and then adding 2 more countries to the list of countries that we've done. And then we're busy also with the wedding planning, planning the wedding for January. So now
So this is sorry to interrupt you. This is the 3rd wedding. I didn't realise we was going to have an umbeso, wedding number 1, an elopement, wedding number 2, and then a family ceremony back in South Africa, wedding number 3. I just didn't. I'm like, 3 weddings, 3 weddings.
And I'll still have more. Weddings are lovely. Weddings are very lovely. So we have that, we're planning that, and that I think the wedding in January is so exciting for me. And like I'm so looking forward to it because his family will be flying to South Africa for the first
Oh,
time.
yay.
Yes. So like even like choosing the venue and everything, I was very intentional because I want to give them this, like South African proper South African experience.
Yes.
We booked this nature reserve
Mm-hmm.
where we're gonna be there for the weekend. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do like safaris before, after, and
Ooh,
during
yes.
like the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Just give them like a really proper South African
Mm-hmm.
experience. So that is really exciting. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those are things that we're busy with currently. Just my Schengen visa and the wedding planning and me just, socializing and making friends this side.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
because we've got this wedding event planned for January, obviously it costs quite a bit to go
Mm-hmm.
and to organise it. The one thing on our bucket list that I haven't done is going to Japan. And initially I said, let's go to Japan this summer, but it's just too much.
Yeah.
So hopefully next summer we will go to Japan, which looks absolutely amazing.
Incredible.
Japan is nice.
So
Yes.
that's on my top of my wish list is
Uh-huh,
if
uh-huh.
I spend 2 or 3 weeks out there.
Yeah.
So that's hopefully we'll do that next summer. Hopefully.
Yeah, we will. And funny, actually, the Mauritius, I don't know if you remember, we did say we had tried to meet in Mauritius before.
Mm-hmm.
So because we couldn't for this coming wedding, for our honeymoon, we're gonna be going to Mauritius finally. We're gonna be going to Mauritius finally, and we're just so excited for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Wow, a lot of traveling, a lot
Yeah.
of time. I'm sure now being only those a month, but now you guys get to live out the life that you always had planned and talked about, you know? Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I think that goes for both of us really
yes.
because
yeah.
when I in 2019 set off traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, just before I got divorced, I went to China on this charity trek, and
Mm-hmm.
I met some people, and it boosted my confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of thought, well, if I'm going to travel, I probably have to do it by myself because other people, like a lot of people I know, are still a married couple, and they just
Mm-hmm.
do local trips to Spain. And I was prepared to do it by myself, but I didn't realise when I went into that bar in Cape Town, Caprice, on January the 25th, 2020,
Mm-hmm.
that I met somebody that had the same sort of vision, that
Mm-hmm.
wanted to travel and see the world.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just brilliant because I'm traveling the world
Mm-hmm.
with someone that I like quite a bit. Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely living the dream.
Mm-hmm. You guys are. And
Yeah,
it's
we
it's
definitely
super
are.
beautiful. Um, so I'm going to work my way on kind of getting you guys back your Friday, but I want to ask you a few more questions.
Okay.
Yes, you're more than
Okay.
welcome.
Yes.
Do you wanna
So
just hold
So
on? Just sorry, just a
yes,
bit.
please.
Do you wanna just go and refill the water here?
okay.
Our water here.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the fridge. That's cold. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes, you can continue.
Yes. Okay. Now that you are in one place, you guys are together, I want to know within yourself, um, is it so real? Like beating what people were saying, beating your own thoughts, beating what maybe society or social media, anything. Now that you're in it, is it like so real?
Yeah, like sometimes I wake up and I look at him like I'm always so excited to wake up next to him.
Oh,
Yeah, and I wake up and like, maybe cuddling or just chilling.
Mm,
And it just hits me like, oh my gosh, imagine if, if he listened to those people that were saying, very mean stuff about
mhm,
me. Imagine if, we let distance, break us up,
mhm,
we wouldn't have been able to experience what we're experiencing now.
mhm.
So yeah, it is kind of surreal, and sometimes I do have like those pinch me moments.
Yes.
Like I do have those pinch me moments. Like, oh my gosh, this is like my life. This
Mm,
is me and my husband, and I'm just so happy. I feel so secure.
mhm.
I feel so loved, and yeah, it is definitely surreal. And I think it's been actually the 30th of July was like a full month of us, being together,
Mhm.
and we're just, kind of like reflecting. And I was thinking I'm gonna do a YouTube video about it,
Yes.
just like reflecting,
Mhm.
yeah, just like reflecting on how it's been because I still pinch myself. Like I feel like I still have those pinch me moments. Like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, this is actually happening. When we were nervous about the outcome because another thing, when you're applying for the visa, you kind of look online and people have so many different experiences that they're gonna tell you about online. Like, oh, I waited 9 months. Oh, for us, we had to apply 4 times before it was approved. But for us, and I think it was God's grace for
Mhm.
us, within 3 weeks, I got my visa. Like
Yes.
instead of waiting, because we had gotten a lawyer, like an immigration lawyer to help us,
Mm.
and she had said because we paid for priority because we just did not want to wait that
Mhm.
long. So she had said, it should take, with us paying for priority, it should take like 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm.
But within 3 weeks, it was there. And I remember he kept on telling me, babe, let's just be positive. Um, Oh, sorry, Bruno. Sorry. He was like, no, babe, let's just be positive. We're gonna get this like within a week. And I was like, no,
Mhm.
I don't wanna like amp up myself only to be disappointed. At
Mhm.
least after 4 weeks, I'm gonna start expecting. So I'm just gonna keep myself as busy as I can.
Mhm.
I went home to Durban to see my mom and
Mhm.
stuff. And as soon as I got back, the visa was like we got the notification that my visa was ready, and it was like 3 weeks. I was not even expecting it, so it is very much still surreal because I kind of had that thing like, okay, some people are saying they applied twice, 3 times, 4 times
Mhm.
before they got it.
Mhm.
Maybe it won't be like that for us since we have a lawyer,
Mhm.
but we're probably gonna have to wait a bit longer.
Mhm.
But we didn't, and yeah, it's still very much surreal, like being here and the way just everything was so smooth, like from the application process to me getting here. It's like
Mhm.
everything just went very smoothly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. She was just asking now that we're together, like, does it feel surreal
Mhm.
that we actually now are together, staying together full time
I,
like
I,
this?
I think it's more relaxing knowing
Mhm.
that we haven't got that airport where she's going back sort of break. That even like at the start of a 3 month period, and I pick her up from the airport. It's always thinking, well, it's going to be great, but there's going to come a point
Where
where
we have
we have
to
to
we have
say
to separate.
goodbye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, there's two things I wanted to just mention, if I may.
Mhm.
One is about our charity work for school shoes in South Africa.
Mhm.
Tandega will put our link up. We
Yes.
raised money for 25 pairs of shoes for school kids that didn't have or in disrepair, and it's
Last year.
something that we want to do every year. So we've set up a non-profit in South Africa as well.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, and this is a shameless plug, but Tandega does have a YouTube channel. So I'm
Yes.
surprised that you've not mentioned it because
I
normally,
actually,
unless that was when I was downstairs,
I
but please
actually,
mention your YouTube because all some of the adventures that we've talked about, a lot of the traveling are on there. So anyone that kind of wants to see what we're
Mhm.
talking about, it's
yeah,
all on
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Excuse me,
yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
losing my voice.
You just drink
Yeah.
your water, babe. Yes, yes. I was gonna mention that as much as we're here now, but
Mhm.
obviously with my roots being in South Africa, it's still home, and one of the things that, made me realize that this man is the one for me was, when I told him the dream that I had about helping disadvantaged children in South Africa. He was the way he accepted it and the way he worked to like find ways and ideas for us to be able to help more children than I had initially told him was very inspiring, and it just made me love him even more, even
So
more.
what happened was Tandega said she'd love to help 5 children with school shoes.
Just put battery.
And I
charge.
kind of said, well, how much is that? And it wasn't a lot of money. And then I was driving home one day and I thought, well, what if I could ask my friends and people who know me, set up a charity page, and instead of buying 5 pairs, what if we could do 20 pairs? And to cut a long story short, we managed to get 25 pairs in January this year. That's when the school term starts in South Africa. And when you're raising money and you're constantly asking your friends and you're badgering people, it gets a bit of a chore. But then when the photographs came of these kids with these shoes, your mum had helped organise it, was in the picture. It just felt so good that it was worth all that sort of badgering, and when you put out a link and when people sort of promise and then they forget or don't, and you feel a bit bad reminding them, it was worth all that to see them kids with these school shoes. So it is
That's
something
really
that we plan to do. Yeah, we plan to do every year, don't we?
Yeah, we plan to do every year. So that's why we even decided to register it formally so that, we're able to, ask other people as well, ask, other organizations that, share the same sentiments as us when it comes to helping the disadvantaged children. To just have it more formal. So we did register it this year in August. No, actually in July, we've registered it, and we are starting now with the fundraising, which is how also was a very big thank you.
There's some lovely comments. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my, what was I saying? Which is
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's fine. It's gonna come back to me. Which is it's something that we did.
Registering the nonprofit. Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. So I was saying, which is also was a very big motivator for the Gazette article that we just had. That we just had. So we're recently on a cover of a Gazette magazine. Is it Gazette magazine? Yeah, Gazette magazine, where we were sharing our story and also sharing our shared love of travel, but also just helping other people and giving back, and specifically helping children because situations that children are faced with, poverty, hunger, and, just those socioeconomic situation, it's not their fault. And we just want to be able to help we just want to be able to help as much children as possible. So right now, gosh, it's not there we are.
Yes. I think I can even put it behind me.
Yes, please put it behind you. Yes, thank you, ambition. Yes, that is it. That is us. That is our wedding picture. And this is the cover that we just we just made cover, and I was so excited. We're so excited about it because it really is incredible to be able to give back, and just be the kind of adult or women that I feel like I needed growing up, because this is a very personal journey and experience for me. It's a very personal project for me, because I would have loved to receive this type of help when I was growing up in South Africa in disadvantaged background. We have registered it, and so besides our love for travel, it's also just having that spirit of giving back and just trying to help as many people as we can. And South Africa still has issues with poverty. Oh, so this is what I wanted to say. So when we registered it, the plan, initially it's, we started with school shoes, we're starting with school shoes, but then the bigger picture is, just when I registered it, I did say it's a foundation for educational essentials. So yes, it's gonna be school shoes. That is like the main thing. But we're hoping to be able to buy like school uniforms, for children that I need, stationery, maybe some sort of bursary. Obviously, this is long term. Yeah, for children, that I need. Because it's not their fault that they're in those kind of situations. So yeah, we created a not GoFundMe, sorry. We created a Just Giving, which is for UK donations, and then a Back a Buddy page, which is a crowdfund for South Africans. So yes, we'll share that. We should share that. We'll actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually see. I want to post the YouTube in the comments.
Oh yes,
I remember you sent it to me yesterday. Yes.
yeah. Thank you. That would be so lovely. That would be so lovely.
No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, it's like, when, obviously we're all here for a purpose, and we really think that one of the, purposes of us being together is to just be able to give back as much as we can. Hi, my friend. You're here.
I think for me as well was the Umembeso. So when I travelled to South Africa, 3 or 4 times before I went to the Umembeso. And I met local South Africans, but because you're in a tourist area, you're kind of isolated from the real people. But in the Umembeso, I was meeting villagers, in a small community that probably not interacted with many white people. And to see the spirit they had, that kind of gave me enthusiasm to help do this,
And I think also it's one, like in our relationship, because we're coming from different cultures, different backgrounds, that is also something that we've really kind of learned, or what our relationship has taught us, from, because from his side, growing up here in England, there was just things that he was not really aware of, things that were going on out in the world that he wasn't really aware of until we got together, like the poverty and things like that in South Africa. So yeah, we are just so happy to be able to do this and, give back to people that I need. Thank you so much.
No problem,
Thank you.
guys. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. If you're not following them, please follow
Yes,
them.
yes, we appreciate that.
Thank you so
problem.
much.
Yeah.
And now on her YouTube channel, even I make an odd appearance, because before we got, I must tell you, before we got officially engaged, she wouldn't post me on pictures because African culture thing is you don't post boyfriends, is what she tells me.
Yeah.
But from a Western point of view, some of my friends were thinking, hang on, I'm on this YouTube channel and Mick's not on there. It's like she's a solo traveller. And in fact, I think you said,
Solo traveling, yes.
And then occasionally, which she's panned on a video, I'm caught for a split second. I said, oh, you forgot to cut me out. But once we got engaged, now I'm on some of the videos,
I think also that's like one of the things, that's like a culture shock, and also we learned, because here, from a girl, like from the time a girl has her first boyfriend at 14, 15, she can bring that guy home and say, oh, this is my boyfriend. And me being from South Africa, you cannot do that. I'm sure you guys can agree, South Africans that are here, like you cannot do that, when you're bringing someone home, or like you publicly displaying your relationship. There should be something. It can't just be like a boyfriend, like in my culture, we don't do that.
You've got to buy that cooking pot first. Buy the cooking pot.
And
without the cooking pot,
intentions.
you can't do well.
Exactly.
You must have the cooking pot.
And show your intentions, really, and show your intentions. So even that, like, it's something that we had to, these are culture differences that his friends that are from here were like, oh, this girl, she's hiding you. That means she's not interested, or she's using you, and things like that. And then we had that conversation, like, no, it's not that. It's just that in my culture, we don't just do that. We don't just post boyfriends. We don't bring boyfriends home. No, when you bring someone home, that means something, it's very, like, it means something. It's very different from the Western culture where a 14-year-old can just like bring a boy home and say, this is my boyfriend.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. I think,
Yeah.
what is
Where are you
another?
from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from U.S. Born and raised.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
Born and
yeah.
raised.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Which
Born and
part?
raised.
Which part?
Ohio.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yes.
I've not been there, but when I was a student, I travelled around for like 2 summers. Worked on the East Coast and then travelled
Okay.
around. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm sure anyone who's on this live who's South African understands, what I'm talking about. We don't just do that. So yeah, when his friends were, in his ear about that, I had to explain. And he's met some of my friends, and he jokingly brings it up, and they say the same thing. Like, there's a friend of mine. She's 38, and she'd never post her boyfriend. Like, she's a 38-year-old, woman, but she'd never post her boyfriend and just display it everywhere, because we just don't do that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, what is another thing culturally for both of you guys was shocking about each other? Give me one.
I've got one for you. The amount of meat she eats. Zulu women, men, they love meat, and they don't. Tanega doesn't like a meal unless it's got meat, and generally it's hot meat. She didn't like cold meat. It's got to be hot. And I'm like, you're eating so much meat, whereas, like, sometimes I just want a like sandwich or something, like, no, it's lunch, I need this. And I'm not used, like, generally I'd have one hot meal a day, and the other, maybe it's a light breakfast and a sandwich and one hot meal at the end, and that's me done. I'm great. But she just the way culturally is, it's got to have meat.
Yeah, we love meat, Sana. We love meat. I think also, I can't really think of anything specific right now, but I think our eating, the way, the food is, the way we eat. I was so surprised to see that, having tea and chocolate and a chocolate bar at the same time is a thing. I was so surprised by that. I don't know if it's a cultural thing.
I think people, in England, the famous thing is teeth. But yeah, I have a sweet tooth, you see. I'm not that bothered about meat. I mean, my favourite food is Indian curries, curries. And Tanega likes food very spicy, so that's good. But yeah, I also have a sweet tooth, so I tend to at least once a day have a tea with a bar of chocolate or some biscuits, and I know it's not good for you because there's quite a bit of sugar in there, but I kind of like that treat, whereas you're not really bothered. You'd rather have, more meat, wouldn't you? You'd rather have a bigger steak.
I'd rather,
or more chicken.
I'd rather.
Yeah.
And I think just other culture shocks, I'm not maybe really like directly to our relationship, but just being here. The relationship between parents and children and their children here is very different from South Africa, from back home, from how they are treated, to how they have privacy, to how they can just speak to their parents about certain things. That is like a culture shock that is very different for me. That is a very different culture shock for me. And just, I think right now, as I'm here and like interacting with people also from here, making friends and all that, those are like the culture shocks that I'm kind of experiencing. The way just like relationships between parents and children. And I think that's like something that has really like stood out for me, and that is very different from home, which and also I think, also being with him growing up, obviously being from here and me being from South Africa, I have also kind of learned or from him, or he's given me this courage to be able to speak my mind, because in certain, in African countries, you can speak your mind, but then there has to always be the thing of you speaking to an adult or someone older. So like you have to just take it or just be reserved a bit in certain things. Sometimes when you don't like something, you just have to be very polite about it. While he very different. If he doesn't like something, he just says, no, I don't like that. Like if it's, if he's not happy about something, he's just saying he's not happy with that. So I think that is also kind of like, given me that courage to say and speak out more.
What she's saying is I moan a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of our culture. We like to moan about everything. A quick story about English people. Traditionally, unlike American people, we'd go to the restaurant, and I might be sat with my English wife, and we're having a lousy meal. We don't like it. The steak's tough. The chips are cold. And I'm moaning to my English wife saying, this is rubbish. I won't come back here again. And then the waitress bowls over and says, are you enjoying your food? And then we both look at him and say, oh, yes, it's lovely. Because we're so reserved. We don't want to upset other people. And I used to kind of be like that, but now I'm not. If I don't like something, don't get me wrong, I try not to be nasty, but I try to be honest, because you're paying for it at the end of the day. And
Americans, we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you. We don't like it.
Definitely. Whereas British, we tend to moan, but then publicly we're so pleasant, and that's something that I still sometimes do. And I get annoyed at myself. And why don't I just say? But I do generally speak my mind.
Yeah.
Culture shocks.
Yeah. I've been experiencing, quite a few here. Even simple things like the self-service petrol stations they have. In South Africa, we don't have that. And I was asking him, like, how did I make sure that everybody pays here? Like, is there anything like that they put, And he was like, no, man, nobody would do that. I'm like, well, come to South Africa. They do that, like, not pay. Just drive off.
Yeah, some do, but everywhere's got cameras.
So you don't pay at the pump in England?
So what it is, in America, I've driven in America many times, you pay before you get the petrol. You say you're going to spend $20 or $30, whatever, and you pay to get the petrol. And then when it gets up to $30, it doesn't let you get any more. In England, it always was you fill up, then you go and pay. But nowadays, some will put a hold on your card, and then you fill up.
Okay.
And but still many. You fill up. The garage I tend to use because I get points. You fill up and then you go into the kiosk and pay. So people do. It's called drive-offs. People do drive-offs. Generally, they're people that are on the wrong side of the law, and the number plate gets recognised and they call the police. But if it's a stolen car, it's a stolen car. But every petrol station will lose some money on drive-offs. Unfortunately, with anything, there's crime. But generally we don't pay until after we've took the petrol or gasoline, as you call it. Gas.
Yes. We call it gas. What legacy do you want your love story to leave behind?
Can I answer that?
Please.
I want to change the world. I want. Do you know what? I'm humble enough to say, like, I'm not going to be a world leader, but if I can, when I go, if I can inspire 20 people that have sat at the home in England and not travelled, or maybe 10 people that have never been in a mixed race relationship, or maybe 5 people that have decided to fly over to South Africa, have met their Zulu African queen, and unified the two cultures, then to me that's a legacy worth living. And I always say to Tandega is that I'm an idealist, you know, where I'd love to see this world where we all live together in peace and harmony, where we don't judge people. And I'm not perfect. We all judge people, but ultimately, I'd like to see this kind of utopian world where people are judged by, I think it was Martin Luther King, people are judged by their actions and not what they look like or where they come from. So that's part of my just drift towards this charity really is embracing it and wanting to leave a legacy, because there is an age difference. And you know, as I'm older, the older person in that age difference, these thoughts have come more to me in later life, you know. So it's good that Tandega's approaching 30 and already thinking about a legacy and helping people. It took me a lot longer, but I'm there now. So did you want to?
I think we share the same sentiments on that. That's why we actually started our channel, because we just wanted to inspire people. Thank you, friend. So yeah, we just wanted to inspire people and show people that, you know, it is possible to be in an age gap interracial relationship and just be genuinely in that relationship, you know, have, you know, dreams to make the world better together. And yeah, I think that's the sentiments that we share, definitely. That's why, you know, we have this channel that we have, not just to like show off stuff, but to also just teach and encourage other people that, you know, you can do this. And also, you know, sometimes your soulmate is not in your country, you know, your soulmate is not like the same race as you. And, you know, just be open-minded when you meet people that you share, you know, similar interests with. Just, yeah, be open-minded. I think that's definitely a legacy. Yeah.
Yes. That's true. That's true. That's good. My last question to you guys. Any advices, tips, things that you would like to share or say, statements, comments to people who are in long distance relationships?
Oh yeah, I'd say don't let the distance be a factor. I mean, obviously the distance is there, but then don't let distance stop you from being romantic, spending time together. Because for us, what we do when we're still in a long distance relationship, we'd still have date nights, you know, like we'd still, although it's over, you know, video call, but we still have date nights, dress up, you know, either we choose what we're ordering to eat together and talk, we're watching a movie together. We just really try to not let distance, you know, kind of stop that like romantic part of our relationship. And yeah, I think for me, that is just one thing. Don't let the distance be a factor, because, you know, you can still, you will close the distance eventually, but also while you are still in a long distance relationship, just make the most of it. Do things that you would normally do, you know, as a normal couple, your weekly date nights, sweet stuff that you would do in like a normal relationship. And yeah, I think that is what I would say from at the top of my head right now.
I think for me, the technology now, there's no reason why you can't be in a long distance relationship for a period of time. Okay, you know, a long period of time is maybe too long, but you know, we being able to do live phone, you know, video calls, constant free messages on WhatsApp. You know, you can make it work because of the technology. Without the technology, I don't think we'd have had much of a chance.
Yeah.
You know,
oh my.
You know, so the modern technology it's like people will ask stuff like, how do I book this or how do I do that? You've only got to go on Google and you know, and you find the answer. Sometimes it takes a little bit more digging for what you're trying to find, but really, you know, the internet, social media, it's good and bad. But one point that is good is that if you have a question, the answer's in there. You're just going to find it. You know, so you can make it work. You really can make it work.
Yeah.
That's
Distance shouldn't be anything that stops you from, connecting with someone, falling in love with someone. It shouldn't be, you will close it one day, but while you're still in a long distance, just try to make it work, and do the things that you would do together in, as much as you can, in any way that you can, which, thank God for technology and video calls and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's what I would say. Yeah.
Yes.
We're saying the same thing.
Stealing my answers.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, if you guys don't mind, I can open up the panel, or I can allow people, if they have anything that they would like to say to you guys, they can just drop it in the chat, and then we're gonna close it out. So,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah,
Anything, any questions,
yes.
comments, anything?
Any questions, comments?
Yeah.
And
I
guys,
really like
again, please follow.
lives.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please follow
Yes.
them, guys. Please follow them. Do you have anything linked inside of your bio, on this
So
bio?
we have the YouTube channel linked in our bio, and
Yes.
then we're gonna have to add, because we just had to make a new link for the donations for the
Uh-huh.
schools. So we're just gonna add that, but on our bio right now it's our YouTube channel, and then probably tomorrow I'll add, because the link is ready now.
Yeah.
I'll add the link. But yeah, we would appreciate all the support of
Yes.
that. Yeah, we'd be very, very grateful. And we're very transparent about it, like when we do the donations and stuff like that. Because also, one thing also that I realized when we started this whole school shoes initiative, is that people do want to help, they just don't know where or how. Like they need somebody that's gonna tell them, I'm seeing a problem here, and your $5 or your $2 can help, somebody, and this is where you can put it, like this is a pot where you can put it, and then we'll take care of the rest. I saw that like a lot of people were open to helping, they just didn't know how to. So that is something that is really it opened my eyes to, like, there's a lot of people that want to help, they just don't know where to start and what to do. And also there's so many problems in the world, so it's kind of hard to choose which one. So at least if there is that there is people like us that are saying, okay, this is the cause that we're choosing, and if it it aligns with you, please support. Yeah.
Yes. If you send it over to me, I can make a post,
Oh,
and I'll tag you guys in it.
yes,
I
yes.
appreciate you guys for coming up. Your time, the story, it was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
It's a beautiful sight to see people truly enjoying love, beating those barriers, those things that people say, and I can't wait to see the wedding that's coming up.
Oh,
We still
you are
got,
gonna
yes,
see it.
2026. We're excited to see that. I would love to
Yeah.
have you guys come back up sometime, because people need to hear stories. They need to hear about intercultural. They need to hear about age gaps. They need to hear about long distance. And I think that it's helped people. It's U.S. It's early right now. It's midday now, but time. But I hope, and I always do recaps after and share. But I would love to keep you guys information going and trending and reposting as well.
Thank you so
That's
much.
really
Would appreciate
appreciated.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And
Yeah.
one last thing I just
Mhm.
thought of. So you mentioned the wedding. So
Yes.
I have my youngest son coming out. He's going to be my best man.
Mm.
And my brother's family's coming out. He's never been anywhere in Africa. He travels all over America and Canada. But my youngest son has never done anything like what he's going to be doing in South Africa. So I'm so excited, because I've been 5 times to South Africa, but I'm so excited for them to experience it. And,
Yes. That's gonna be
And
beautiful.
that's why, like, I wanted to give them this, this unforgettable experience. Like, I want
Yes.
them to be like, yeah, okay, this is something so, so different. I'm
Yes.
actually saying it should be a live stream. The wedding.
We'll probably get some pictures, some videos that we'll be able
Yes,
to
yes.
post. Because I'm excited, and I appreciate the people who come up and are willing. It's hard getting people to see the good side. We always see the negative side. We always see the comments that people say, but we never see what they're saying bad about actually played out to be good. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
um, you guys
definitely.
look amazing together. You
Thank
Oh, thank
do.
you. Thank
You
you.
do.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
Thank you so
yes.
much.
She copied
Um,
my hairstyle. I had this hairstyle first.
and y'all both killing it, okay? Y'all both killing it.
We can have another hour on black women's hair because I've learned a
Oh,
Oh yes.
lot. I
Hey,
have
we're gonna
learned
be
a
here
lot.
all
You,
day.
you tell me, sister. I have learned a lot.
You guys have to come back up. Um, we'll figure out more questions, more things to kind of
yeah.
talk about. This was the beginning, the love
Yeah.
story, and how it unfolded. So
Oh no,
thank you
definitely.
guys.
We'd love
Yeah.
to keep in touch, and we are following each other now.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
yeah, so we
And I'm
definitely.
subscribed as well. Yes,
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 Brilliant.
you are subscribed. Yes,
yes.
so we're definitely gonna be keeping in touch.
Mhm.
And yeah, this was so lovely. Like this was really, really lovely. Thank you so much for having
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
us.
you for giving us the
Thank
opportunity. Thank you.
you.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes.
Bye,
Okay.
Bye.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Guys, another one. Another interview. Guys, I couldn't let them leave without getting everything. Because everything that they endured, the time, the effort, the energy, guys. And they were nothing but open and transparent. And I couldn't stop smiling. Y'all always see me. My cheeks be hurting. I'm gonna post their newsletter that they were in. I'm gonna post it again because it's amazing. True love prevails. Saying yes, they are an awesome couple, guys. I love the honesty, guys. He had us rolling. Okay, I think he's like a part-time comedian. I don't know. He was full. I can see the charm. I can see why.